Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday. Hello, baby. How you doing?
Hello. I'm super. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm super excited. It's a Tuesday. That means in the program today we have a bunch of nonsense that we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. Now, if you've not yet had a chance to hear Tuesdays with Charlie, you need to tune in. It's later in the show. It's a whole lot of fun. We call my father-in-law. And
my
we just
daddy.
Talk nonsense. You know, he finds stuff on the internet, some of which I don't think is even accurate. But he teaches us things that we all need to know. And the kid's going back to school and all. You know, we want to be up to date on stuff. But I've got some good questions for him today as well. Hey, the Census Bureau reports that the average American commute right now is just over an hour to get to work. That seems like it's getting longer. Doesn't it seem like that's longer than it used to be?
Yeah.
So I wonder why it is that we're working further away from home.
I don't know.
Maybe we should start working closer to home.
We certainly made that move.
Yes, we did. It's real. My commute's a minute, if even. Stumble down the steps, and here I am. So anyway, Census Bureau says people are driving an hour to work. If you're driving to work, if you're driving home from work, wherever you happen to be, thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Have you ever heard of IBM's Watson program?
No.
It's a computer program. When I start talking about it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. It's famous for taking on humans in chess, and it wins. It's really a smart program. They computed, they put this thing together, and it'll like outwit the best chess players.
Huh.
So it's also been used to beat humans on Jeopardy.
Okay.
So you have a computer that just knows everything. Well, now they're using Watson to analyze your personality, and you can too. Simply enter something that you've written, like a long email or maybe a long Facebook post. Let Watson go to work. In seconds, you can. It says the real you is revealed rather. So it'll tell you who you are. It also scores you on various needs and values.
Huh.
So if you want to be freaked out, go figure that thing out.
Why would
It's
you need
Watson.
that? I mean, if you don't know yourself.
Well, you know, there's the real you,
problem.
and then there's the you that you think you are, you know. So this is saying, hey, I'm going to tell you who the real you is. You know, I think my dad did that when I was about 18. Thanks anyway. Don't need another one of those. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm still in therapy from that one.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Wouldn't it be great if you could bill the state for all the gas that you're wasting sitting in traffic, waiting in a construction zone? Well, a lady tried that. Carol Greenberg from Ohio sent Michigan transportation officials a bill for $16 that she said that she wasted on gas while sitting in their construction zone traffic. Greenberg said there were no signs warning about work on the southbound I-275, where it merged with I-75 near Newport, Michigan. She ended up sitting in traffic for nearly an hour on the 23rd of July while trying to get home to the Toledo suburbs. The Michigan Department of Transportation sent a letter back to Greenberg saying it's not able to reimburse drivers for time, wages, or lost gas in work zones and backups.
Yeah, if they do that once, then there's a whole bunch.
Meanwhile, in a similar incident, I know what you're thinking, there's another person who would do that. In a similar incident, a woman from Indianapolis billed her physician for the extra 30 minutes that she had to wait in his office past her appointment time. The woman said, doctors have this arrogance, and they think their time is more valuable than mine, so I billed him double the amount that he charges my insurance. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Chances are, she'll be looking for a new doctor sometime soon.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably going to
I do understand where they're coming from.
I see what she's saying, because it does suck when you have other places you need to be and when you had an appointment. If you had an appointment, I can understand. But the person who came in, a few hours earlier than you may have been very, very ill and needed some serious attention quickly that they weren't planning on. So there's no way for anybody to be able to.
I'm not good with appointments. As a matter of fact, I used to when I would go somewhere else to let somebody cut my hair, I would just walk in and say, "You have any openings?" I would never make an appointment, because when I would, I'd make an appointment.
Anyways.
Well, I'd make an appointment. Then when I would show up, I would get there like right in the nick of time. But then you'd wait for another 15 or 20 minutes anyway. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
I got
why do
stuff
I even
to
have an
do.
appointment?
So then what I just started doing is I got some clippers and I cut this myself.
and it looks amazing.
Can you tell?
I actually do like it now. The way you're doing it,
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, these clippers in May were, what is it? Wait, 4 years now I've been doing this?
You finally got it down.
I still haven't got it down. I'm just saying. I just gave up. That's all. I want to just shave it down to nothing. Go Charlie style.
No,
Speaking
I
of
like
him,
it.
we have Tuesdays with Charlie later in the program. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show and this whole billing people for waiting. It's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Don't blame your stupidity on the swine flu, especially when your brain is on drugs. Take a listen to this. A judge in New Zealand is rejecting a woman's drunk driving defense. Here's what she claims. Deborah Karen Graham contended that she had 3 glasses of wine, and she's done that, many times, but this time they were more potent because she was just getting over a case of the swine flu.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you've been sick, you can't have as many glasses of wine as you've had before because you haven't been drinking for a while.
Yeah, so the explanation was not very contagious.
No.
It didn't catch on at all. The judge said, boo,
Yeah.
not gonna do that.
Sorry.
The judge fined her and took away her license for 6 months, so she got her drinking and driving charge after all. So, hey, an A for effort there, Deborah.
Yeah. Nice try.
I remember one time you and I were doing a diet where you couldn't drink for a long time. So it'd been like 6 months since you had anything to drink.
Right.
And you had like 2 drinks and you were completely hammered.
Right.
I was like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm like, you had 2 drinks.
That was wonderful,
I was
actually.
like, what in the world
so
is
much
wrong
cheaper.
with you? Anyway, you know that if you are drinking and driving, that's a bad idea no matter what. And probably even worse if you just had the swine flu. I don't know how that's worse, but we'll just throw that in there. Coming up, we have your moment of duh. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Here's your moment of duh. A car crashed into a business through the roof.
Oh.
Imagine that. A couple of pranksters in Vista, California thought it'd be funny to take a crane and lift a classic 1966 Chevy Nova onto the roof of a local business. Unfortunately, they failed to take into account that the cars, they weighed quite a bit back then. The joke became a lot less funny when the Chevy crashed through the roof, rupturing the fire sprinkler system, dousing computers and carpets and furniture in the business. The pranksters are now looking at felony vandalism.
Yeah, absolutely, and they should.
It was all supposed to just be a joke. They were like, hey, this is going to be so funny. We're going to put this guy's car on the roof of his business.
Oh, my God.
Ha ha. Let's record this and put it online. And it crashed through. I think that would have been a terrible, terrible, terrible idea, no matter what. Because what if it would have, even if it would have set on the roof, what if it would have rolled off and landed on somebody?
First of all, it's just horrible. How would that person get it back down again? That's just awful. It's not funny at all. It's just
I'm all for
awful.
pranks, but that kind of prank is a little bit mean. That's maybe
awful.
taking things too far. Hey, speaking of going too far, we do have Tuesdays with Charlie coming up later today, so that's coming up here before you know it. And we have your scoop of the day on the way.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
And this is your scoop of the day. Architects in Dubai are creating a skyscraper that will be over 2,300 feet tall. Just under a half a mile, that is. According to CNN, when completed, the skyscraper will break 5 world records, Heidi. It'll include the world's largest indoor ski slope, the largest dancing fountain, the tallest residential tower, and the highest restaurant. The skyscraper will also include a 300-meter sandy beach, a mall, and a room for more than 78,000 residents. However, At 711 meters tall, the building still won't be the world's tallest artificial structure. That honor belongs to the 830-meter building right next door in Dubai. So they're building them really tall over there. McDonald's, Burger King.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, but Dubai does some really cool stuff.
They do.
Have you ever looked at pictures of Dubai? That is an amazing city.
I don't think I would want to live there.
I wouldn't want to live there, but I certainly
visiting.
do want to go someday.
I'd drive through real quick and check it out. I don't want to stay too long. I got a feeling they're going to try to kill me or something. I don't know.
No, I would like you to take me there someday.
Take you to Dubai?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I'd like. I'd like you to crack the code on this next story here.
Okay.
Listen to this amazingness. McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and Taco Bell have now admitted to having some secret menu items comprised of foods that you don't see on the menu board. Some of these secret sandwiches include the Land, Air, and Sea Burger at some McDonald's locations. You know what that is?
No.
It's a chicken patty, a fish patty, and a burger all put together. Land,
Ew.
Air, and Sea.
Ew.
Taco Bell, you can get the Incredible Hulk. You'll never see these things on menus, but there are some people that know the secret handshake and get these things. The Incredible Hulk, they take a beef burrito and replace the cheese with guacamole, giving it a green look. Call it the Incredible Hulk. KFC, somebody there created, these are off-menu items. The Zinger Stacker, composed of 2 Zinger fillets, mixed with cheese, lettuce, and a spicy sauce, and some chili relish. But the most impressive, or maybe most scary, however you want to look at it, on the list could be what they call Suicide Burger from Burger King. Keep in mind, these are not official menu items. You're not going to find them on the menu, so it's probably some kid that named it that. But maybe there's a good reason for that. Here's what the Suicide Burger has. Made of 4 beef patties, 4 slices of cheese, 4 slices of bacon, all between 2 buns. That's a ginormous burger. Probably clog your arteries just eating it. So there you go. Those are some menu items that are not on the menu. And they've admitted that, there are people that are ordering these things in some places. When I was a kid, I had a friend that worked at Subway in my hometown. And we had a thing that we called the Pit Bull, and it was the pizza and the meatball sub mixed together, the Pit Bull. It was so good. So I don't know why I didn't make the list. Apparently I'm not as popular as these other folks. Hey, a grandmother in Albuquerque got angry when a thief stole her late husband's pickup truck, so she went looking for it. And she found it, and she boxed it in with her vehicle and then called the police.
Oh,
so she tracked him down. She's like, I got him.
She's
feisty. Where are you? I'm pinned. I pinned him in. He's stuck. He's going nowhere. So that is just hats off to Grandma.
Gotta like
Albuquerque.
that.
When Ann Trackelberg joked that she wanted to be escorted out of her chemotherapy treatment by a marching band, little did she know that her niece would make it happen. The Badger Band from the University of Wisconsin Marching Band did the honors. Ann checked out of the hospital. The band was there to march her down the way. That is awesome.
That is sweet.
Investigators at a New York City jail recently uncovered an inmate's apparent escape plot using 64 bed sheets tied together, which would have been enough for him to shimmy down the 11 stories from his cell block to the street. So he was bundling up all these bedding.
Over time, they wouldn't have noticed that they're
I'm assuming
64 bed sheets short.
They probably, have to replace them once in a while. He
you
was
would
just
think
take
that
them one
there
at a
would
time.
be like an inventory.
You'd think so. They should. If there wasn't before, there
There
probably
is now.
That was in New York City. 64 bed sheets stuffed in a guy's jail cell. He was getting ready to shimmy down the wall. Now let's look at our strange law for today. In Wyoming, it is illegal to wear a hat that obstructs people's view in a public theater or place of amusement. That's a good law.
That is a good law.
If you're wearing a big hat, sit in the back row. I'm just saying. Or take off the hat. That's going to do it for your strange law. And this has been your Scoop of the Day. Tuesdays with Charlie is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and call my father-in-law for a little show we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Yes, it is a bright Tuesday morning.
Well, we're glad to have you on the program. We actually had a chance to have lunch with you the other day. That was kind of fun.
Yes, you did. And that was quite an honor.
Well, it certainly was for us anyway, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
So, what are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Okay, there's a couple things here I think I've told you before, but we're going to say it anyway.
It's good, because I forget things anyway.
I do, too. That's why they're probably, some of these are repeats. But you remember old buddy Bob Ross?
Oh, yeah. The artist.
The joy of painting, yep.
Oh, yeah.
The paintbrush.
Yeah?
Do you know that he never received any money for his shows?
You're kidding me. He never got paid?
Nope. He's such a nice guy.
He was. He really was.
Showed up on that channel one day. PBS was like, "Who's this?
Who is this guy?" He was a really good artist, and he put in a happy little cloud over here, and let's put in a happy little
cloud.
Tree.
And when he beat the paintbrush on this,
He would always giggle.
Oh yeah,
Cracked me up.
yeah. That was my favorite part too.
he had to be on drugs.
I can't believe he never got paid for that.
Nope. He made all his money by selling art supplies, and he gave art lessons too.
Well, when I was a kid, my grandmother had a Bob Ross painting at her house. I have no idea where that thing went.
Huh, you should have hung on to it.
I would have loved to. I have no idea where it went.
Then the second thing I might have told you before was, we all know this because it all works every time. Men who help with housework have more sex.
Hey, there you go. I'm going to get the vacuum cleaner out and figure out how to use it.
I better start doing something around the house. Hey, then, do you know the average amount of time a woman can keep a secret?
8 minutes?
That's what I'd say, but actually it's 47 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's almost 2 full days.
I think that's stretched a little bit.
I think so, too.
I think that's longer than a man can keep a secret.
Yeah, probably.
You know why we can't keep it? Because if we don't tell somebody right away, we forget.
Yeah. That's very true.
Hey, then, do you know that the old ancient Romans believed eyelashes fell out from excessive sex?
No kidding?
Really?
And that long lashes indicated purity and chastity.
Oh, wow. I have pretty long lashes. Maybe that's why.
Yes, you do, by the way.
How is it possible that you do and I don't?
I don't know.
That might not be a good
that
thing.
theory. I don't know. This is the name of a company, Nude House.
Nude House?
It's a computer software company in Buckinghamshire, UK.
Okay.
They're seeking web developers.
And it's called Nude House?
Nude House. But you know what?
What?
No clothes are allowed in the office.
Really?
For real?
For real.
I would not like
So
that.
you have to go to work naked?
In the buff.
I sure hope they at least have the heat turned on. That wouldn't be fun.
The UK could get pretty cold.
Yeah. I wouldn't think of a warm place. It's usually cold and rainy.
I wonder if they're allowed to wear clothes to work, like on their way.
If not, that'd be an interesting commute.
Well,
Especially if you rode your bicycle to work, or if you jogged.
Go to work in cold, you know what they call you, don't you?
What's that?
They call you Shorty.
Hey.
Hey, you like karaoke.
I do.
Do you know what that means in Japanese?
Empty orchestra.
Yes, you won the $100.
I did? Awesome.
Ooh.
I can't wait.
I'll put the check in the mail.
All right. Got a feeling this one won't show up either.
For you. You know what today is?
What is today?
National Whiskey Sour Day.
I did know that. I saw that on my list. We go through that here in a little bit, and I did see that on the list.
I have never had a whiskey sour, I don't think.
I don't think I have either.
They're not all that great, but, you know, in a pinch.
It'll work. What do you put in a whiskey sour?
Like Sprite or something,
Whiskey
right?
and sour.
Whiskey and,
Or
like,
squirt?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to try one. Oh.
You know what yesterday was?
What was yesterday?
National Waffle Day.
Oh, we did know that. We talked about that.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And
What are you laughing about?
You're like, what? Oh, yeah, I knew that.
then you know what Wednesday is then?
Well, what is tomorrow?
National Cherry Popsicle Day.
Well, I'll make sure I enjoy a cherry popsicle tomorrow.
So you better have a whiskey sour today, though.
And a waffle I should have had yesterday.
Should have had that yesterday.
Well, I've got some questions for you, Charlie.
Okay?
The first one is this. You were just talking about the word karaoke from Japanese, meaning empty orchestra. The company Nintendo, a Japanese video game company nowadays, it was founded in 1898. What did they make back then, before they made video games?
Little crappy toys out of sticks.
No. Although, it would be funny if it did say little crappy toys out of sticks. They originally made playing cards at Nintendo back in the 1800s, 1898.
Really?
Yeah. And did you know, this isn't a question, but it's just an observation. It says 3 times as many people in America put ketchup on the side of their French fries as on top of it. So I wanted to ask you, do you put your ketchup on the top of your fries, or do you put it next door and then dip them?
Oh, no, you dip them.
That's how I do it, too. How about you, Heidi?
It depends on the kinds of fries. I do if they're those shoestring fries. I dump it all over the top. Otherwise, it goes on the side and you have to dip.
There
you
you
got
go.
to be a dipper.
Now you'll know if you're normal or not.
I'm normal.
All right. Well, I don't know about
A little
that.
weird, but I'm normal.
All right. Well, Charlie, it was nice chatting with you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Well, probably next Tuesday.
That sounds good to me. I'll meet you right back here. Bye-bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law there, we talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Today is a very special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Tuesday, the 25th day of August, and that means today is Kiss and Make Up Day.
Oh, that's a nice day.
Oh, yeah. Come on over here, baby. It's also National Park Service Day. It is National Second-Hand Wardrobe Day. We celebrate that every day.
Yes, we do.
My wife over here, she loves buying, I'll just say vintage clothing. Then it sounds trendy.
No, it's not vintage.
Oh, she loves buying vintage clothing, which is basically just something. We go to a secondhand store, and she's like, hey, I think this will fit you. I'm like, okay, I guess
I just don't like
to
pay
save.
retail
Man, you're good at it,
anything
too.
ever.
So, Secondhand Wardrobe Day and National Whiskey Sour Day. So get out there and celebrate. Kiss and make up and have some whiskey sour. You know what? Have the whiskey sour first, because then you probably will have to kiss and make up later. So do it in order.
I've never had a whiskey sour.
I don't know if I have either. Maybe we'll have to
We
try.
should do that.
There you go.
We should do that tonight.
Try that somewhere in our secondhand wardrobe. Get out and celebrate. It is Tuesday, the 25th day of August.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
If you're planning on getting a tattoo, maybe you shouldn't, especially if you're a woman. Listen to this. Researchers say that women are more likely than men to regret getting tattoos. A quarter of Americans aged 18 to 30 have at least one tattoo. That number is expected to jump to 40% in the next few years. A survey by Texas Tech University found that while 80% are very pleased with their tattoos, 6% eventually undergo procedures to have them erased. About 2/3 of them are women. They say the body art caused them embarrassment. It drew some sort of negative comments and created problems when choosing clothing to cover them up. A similar study 10 years ago said more men than women wanted tattoo removal back then. Now it's women more than men, 2/3. And I think because here's what I think men do. They get something tattooed that is very sentimental, like maybe a woman's name, and then they break up with said woman.
Yeah.
And that's why they're getting it. But I think women, like they said in this study, it's the placement. Ladies get their tattoos placed in different places where then they want to wear a dress, and all of a sudden they got this tattoo peeking out. Not like I'm mentioning anybody in particular. Heidi Small.
I love my tattoos.
Okay, but you have one that you said you wanted to get removed because when you wear it, it's a Hershey Kiss. But if you're wearing certain clothing,
tabs,
it looks like a snake or something.
Snake. And people are like, "Why does she have a?"
It's just the Hershey Kiss little wrapper thingy sticking out. So she's got that. She'll be wearing a outfit that is a little more revealing, and that the Hershey Kiss thing is hanging out.
Yeah.
People are talking to Heidi. They keep looking down at her snake on her chest. They're like, "What's the deal with the snake?" No, it's a Hershey Kiss. You thought I was weird, didn't you? Now you know I'm weird. And you've had a tattoo covered up as well.
Yeah, with a different tattoo. Yeah.
Well, did you think I was going to say you had it covered up with something else? With some indoor-outdoor carpeting?
But
I don't know what you thought it was.
A much bigger tattoo.
So she had one tattoo that she thought, maybe that's too much. Let's cover it with something way bigger.
I didn't think it was too much. I just wanted something better.
The whole cast of the Muppets. I only wish I was kidding.
I love the Muppets.
Yeah, I know you do. All right, that's going to do it for this. Coming up, we're going to talk about religiosity and whatever that means. It's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Have you ever heard of the word religiosity?
I have not.
Nor have I, but it's kind of a cool word. Are you religious? If you have a TV or if you have a photograph of an animal, then Afghanistan thinks you're evil, and that's just the beginning. It's all about religion.
Okay.
I'm I'm not going to say that I'm religious. I'm a Christian, but I wouldn't say that I'm a religious person.
No, I wouldn't call myself religious.
I had no idea what evil meant until I read about this. Afghanistan and the Islamic religion recently banned a bunch of things because they're trying to make people more religious. They include a banned list like TV. You can't watch TV there now. Live music is banned. Oh. Photographs of people and animals are banned. They're also banning playing cards, which we talked about earlier in the program. That's kind of funny. Neckties, lipstick, nail polish, chessboards, fireworks, statues, greeting cards, cassettes, musical instruments, compact discs, movies, and satellite dishes. All of these things have been banned in Afghanistan in an effort to make their people more religious. So if you like those things, you're a heathen. Sadly, I like those things.
What does a greeting card have to do with anything else? I mean, all of those things are just
those evil
ridiculous.
people at Hallmark, they're trying to take over the world. There are pictures of cats and whatnot. I have no idea. That's in Afghanistan. So it's called religiosity. Thank you so much for joining us on The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Can you sue someone for kissing you?
No.
Louise Kelsey, 58, of Melbourne, Australia, is suing Park Hyatt Hotel, where she used to work as a maid. She claims that in 2001, a soccer player who was there from Uruguay for the World Cup stole a kiss from her, sparking post-traumatic stress disorder that left her legally blind.
Oh, good Lord.
The hotel doesn't deny that she was kissed, but they got a skeptical doctor to testify that it must have been the most powerful kiss in the history of the world if it made you blind.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
So I'm not exactly sure what kind of kiss that would have been. It must have been one heck of a smooch. Post-traumatic stress disorder from a kiss, and it made her legally blind?
That is ridiculous.
I'm not exactly sure how that's possible. So I don't know.
Some people just need to be smacked.
Well, they try to smack her on the cheek, and apparently that's what happened.
Maybe if he hit her hard enough, her eyesight would come back.
Well, I see a lot of empathy coming from you. Thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
I think this is going to be an interesting story for people out there who have kids, from modernmom.com. How to discipline your child without yelling or spanking. You think this would be good?
Okay.
All right. So there's a big, long article here that I'm not going to read, but I'll just dive into the stuff here. It says, pick your battles. Children are naturally curious and will sometimes say and do things that are seemingly inappropriate. Assess the situation to determine whether a simple talk is going to be okay or if disciplinary action is necessary. I've seen things where people overreact. I'm like, you probably could have just said, don't do that.
Why are you looking at me?
And pointing as well. I don't know if you see me pointing. Next thing, consider age. Your children's age should certainly be factored into how they're disciplined. It says on here, if they're 15 months or younger, discipline actions are completely different than somebody that's maybe 3 or 4. Next, be an example. Show your child the behavior you'd like him or her to exhibit. Because if you're acting one way, but you're telling them to act another way, well, that's not going to work.
Agreed.
Next, use timeouts. Make a timeout rule and set it up for an amount of time when you're home. If your child misbehaves, make him or her stop what they're doing and put them in timeout. Timeout should last 1 minute per year of age. So if they're 2 years old, it should be 2 minutes. If they're 5 years old, it should be 5 minutes. So that means I would be in timeout for quite a while. What
okay.
You're kind of shaking your head no on this.
That
doesn't translate to radio too well.
Never been a timeout person. I don't think that.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure I'm probably going to get all sorts of hate mail and whatever, but
doesn't matter.
I just don't think it works.
Well, there you go. This, according to modernmom.com, how
and
to
I
discipline
think
your child.
That, again, my opinion, since we've started doing that as a nation,
yeah.
look at where we are. Look at where our youth is today. They're awful.
Well, now at many offices, they need to have timeout. That's it, Mike. Go to timeout.
Yeah. Yeah, because...
You're 18. Okay, 18 minutes of timeout. So this is how to discipline your child without yelling or spanking. That's why you disagree. You'd rather just yell and spank.
I would rather just spank while they're young so you don't have to deal with their attitude when they're older.
Okay, 3 other things quick. Express disapproval. Make sure you let them know when, hey, that wasn't right. Don't do that. I don't approve of that behavior. Let them know. Next, stick to the rules. If you set rules for kids, no telephones at the dinner table, but you're bringing your telephone to the dinner table, don't do that because you're...
And no television during dinner.
Why are you pointing at me now?
Yeah,
And next,
exactly.
recognize. Remember to recognize and reward your child when they do something good, too. So when they do something positive, say, hey, good boy, good girl. That's awesome. You guys are doing great. Here's a treat. Wait, you do that for dogs, don't you? Never mind. All right, that's from modernmom.com, how to discipline your child without yelling or spanking.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Back to school is upon us. There's several schools that have already started in many areas, and there are other schools that are going to be starting here in the next month or two.
Can you believe that the summer is done already?
I know. It's we're
that is just insane.
Sneaking through the last week of August. So 1 week from today is September 1st already. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
but we always try to end with something positive, and here's what I have. This is such a cool thing from missionbackpack.org. Back-to-school shopping is seen by many as tedious, and they don't really like doing it. But if you could make it meaningful and fun, wouldn't that be better? So they say make your back-to-school shopping more of a mission trip. For countless kids around the nation, school supplies aren't even on their radar, much less new clothes or shoes. So when you take your kids shopping, if you can afford to do so for back-to-school items, you might consider buying doubles on some things. Buy a few extra things to help another child in need and help out at your school or a school in your neighborhood. You can find a church in your area that's already doing something like this, or you can start a campaign of your own. And there's a group out there that already has this kind of lined up. It's called Mission Backpack. So if you want to go on there and see if there's one in your neighborhood, or like I said, if you go on there and there's not one in your neighborhood, you can say, you know what, I want to start one. This is a neat thing. I want to do this. Again, it's online at missionbackpack.org. I think that's really cool. And we've done that before where we've help put together drives to get items that kids need for back to school. And it really, we don't go and deliver them to the kids. We never get to see that. Then that's fine. We just know it's getting there. But we've helped put that together.
And
it's
you know, one of my very favorite, I love Dollar Tree. I've said this many times. I love that store. And something that they do every single year is when you go in, that you can buy additional items to help children of deployed military personnel get their back to school supplies. So
cool.
I think that's really cool. So I do that every single time I go in.
If you have a Dollar Tree near you, you could throw an extra buck or two at them and help there as well. That's really neat. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on another wild edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can sign up for razors, and they'll bring them to your door for $1 a month. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's true. They really do this. Doesn't it sound like there's no way? How could you possibly do that? It's $1 a month, and you'll get 5 Humble Twin razors delivered to your door. It's $2 more for the delivery, so $3 total. So for $3 a month, you can't even buy razors. You can't buy 5 of them, not good ones, delivered to your door. Doesn't happen. So check it out, dollarshaveclub.com/radio, and you'll see why I love it so much. It really is a cool thing. A couple in Belgium, they were handing out leaflets door to door trying to find an egg donor so they can have a baby. Is that really the best way to go about doing that? I've heard of neighbors asking for eggs before, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're your neighbors up the street. We're looking for eggs. Yeah, you need what, 1 or 2? Well, we need one of your eggs. We're trying to have a baby. Yeah, I don't have any of those. Thanks anyway. Move on.
And would you really want to offer that to your neighbor and then have them raising that child with you right down the street knowing, like, hey, that's my kid?
That was my kid over there. Hey, you guys, be nice to my kid. I don't know. New poll says that young people are more accepting of the idea of women proposing to men, but it's still not working out that way. 3/4 of Americans say it would be fine for the woman to do the proposing in theory, but only about 5% of currently married people say that the woman proposed.
I wouldn't.
You
ever
proposed to
want
me.
to.
Yeah, you were pretty drunk when you did it. You're like, "Would you marry me?"
And you said yes. What does that say about you?
I said, "Who are you? I don't even know you. Let's get to know each other first, and maybe." All right, we'll get married.
Oh, God.
All right, that's not quite true. Hey, most people lie to poll takers when given a survey. This is hilarious. I've done this before, just because I was trying to be a wise guy. 8 out of 10 Americans say when a pollster calls, regardless of what question, according to the survey by top marketing companies, they say they make it up. So how do they know they weren't making it up for this survey? Do you ever lie to people like me? All the time. Are you lying right now? You have to figure that out. Okay. I'm not going to tell you. What do you think? All right, National Geographic Channel and Kelton Research found that the most people expect some sort of catastrophe is going to hit the U.S. during the next 25 years. Well, there's going to be some kind of catastrophe. 25 years? Yeah, I think we...
Kind of an easy prediction.
Well, if you want to get more specific, they say earthquakes, 64% said, yeah, there's going to be some big earthquakes, like big ones. Hurricanes, 63% said, I see big hurricanes coming. 55% said, I see major terrorism. Those are the big three. Followed by 55% said terrorism. 51% said, I see a financial collapse in our future.
Yeah.
I see that probably higher than the first three. Significant blackouts, 37% are afraid that's going to happen. A pandemic of some sort, whether it's an outbreak of some disease or something, 29%. 14% are still afraid that there's going to be nuclear fallout in the United States in the next 25 years. Looking ahead 20 years, 62% believe that a major catastrophe will hit the world on a global basis, and most of them, 71%, think it will be in the act of God rather than a man-made category. So, like Revelations coming to fruition. So 71% surveyed said that. But then again, we just got to tell you, they lie during the surveys. So. Why do we even read surveys then?
Exactly.
According to a survey, a bunch of liar-faced liars who lie said this. All right. Love the window seat on an airplane, Heidi?
Yes.
Would you rather have window, aisle, or middle?
I would rather have window.
You know where I like to be?
Definitely don't want middle.
I love the middle. Then I put my arm around the people on each side of me. I'm like, guys, we're going to have so much fun. This is going to be the best flight ever. They're like, excuse me, fat, sweaty man, would you please leave me alone? Yeah, I suppose. You going to eat your Triscuits?
Triscuits?
I don't know. What do they have on planes? I haven't flown in a while. Pretzels. There we go. That's what those are called. Hey, your risk of death has increased if you like the window seat. Turns out window seat people are at greater risk of deep vein thrombosis than other passengers. DVT is the formation of serious blood clots in your veins, which can be fatal on long flights. Window people are less likely to get up and stretch. That's why.
Yeah, because you got to climb over everybody, I suppose. I could see that.
So they're saying, hey, take the aisle seat. Maybe you don't have the greatest view, but the good news is you're going to live longer than that window person. You can laugh at them once in a while and go, you're probably going to be dead before this flight is over. Yeah, tell me once again when I'm missing out that window. All right, that's going to do it for your bonus break. I've got other stuff I could share, but we'll save that for tomorrow because I want to make sure we have good stuff every day for this bonus break. Huge thank you to the Dollar Shave Club for bringing us the bonus break. They love to give you little bonuses. If you are a member of their club, you know what I'm talking about. I get razors from them every month, and about every other month or so, they'll send me something extra. I get an email, and they'll say, hey, you want a sample of this? And I'm like, free sample?
Of course.
I want that. They had some hair gel. This was like 2 months ago. I loved that stuff. I'm actually going to order that. I'm going to order some hair gel because I'm about out of the stuff that I'm putting. I got this spiky thing going here. I'm about out. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to order some of that. So they have really good stuff. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.